friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Crystal Idunyate, and today we are live working on Project Life for 2022. Hello everyone. Hi there, Tammy. I see you here and a couple others as well. So I feel like it's been ages since we've been together, but it's only been 2 weeks. We're switching over. Make sure my volume is down. We're good. We are good. Actually, I'm gonna grab my coffee really quick. I left it on my desk over here. I just got home from a Target run, which, you know, I was like, ooh, I'm gonna be in Target for 30 minutes and I'm there for an hour and a half. Whoops. Hello everyone. Okay, we are here, we are live, we are good to go. So, as I was saying, it feels like it's been forever since we've been together. It hasn't, it's only been 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I got my wisdom teeth taken out, and finally I feel like I am on the mend, not having to take pain medication anymore, so that's really awesome. Everything went well. I just have gaping holes now, so that's fun. Not fun. So because I was not here last week, instead of doing a layout from 2021 and a layout from 2022, this week we're going to catch up on 2022. So I'm going to do my week 10 layout and my week 11 layout so that at least my current year album is to current. And then I'll go back and work in my 2021 album again. It just seemed the most logical for me. That being said, next week is spring break here for my kids. So I'm actually not going to be here live again next week because my kids will be home and we're going to be doing some fun stuff around the house together. So because of that, I won't be here. So just a heads up on that. Also, I'm trying to think anything else that's happened in recent weeks. There was another episode that went live over on the Paper Talk podcast where I was hosting it with Josie and Janet. If you haven't had a listen for that one, definitely be sure to tune in. You can find that podcast over on iTunes and Spotify and all the places, I think. I'm pretty sure. It is Paper Talk Podcast. So definitely check that out. And you guys, I also am the worst, and I didn't have time before the live today to go and draw my winners for the last week's giveaway or the last live's giveaway. So I'm going to do that as soon as the live finishes up today. So if you are the winner, I will reach out to you. So make sure to keep an eye out on your notifications for a comment from me today, letting you know if you are one of my December Daily Packet prize winners. So there's that. Life just got crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and switch you guys to my desk view here and get working on these layouts for today. I just realized I put my my whatever this is called, my mount is far away from me, so I'll have to adjust it to make sure you guys are straight. But let's go ahead and flip you guys over. We'll get started on our layouts. All right, here we go. Okay. That looks pretty good to me. Looks pretty straight. Okay, so I've got my page protectors here and my packets of supplies. That goes there. So let's get started by working on week number 10. So for week number 10, is this 10? Yes. I am using the March Stories by the Month kit from Allie Edwards from this year, so the current kit. I actually got all of my March and my Awesome story kit about 3 days before I got my April and currently story kit. So like this kit was just lost in the mail for the longest time. So it finally came in, and now I'm excited to pull it out and get it used for one of these weeks. So let me also just for the sake of placement, to pull these over here as well. These are my page protectors. Okay, so one of the things with my layouts for this week that I have here and the following week is I actually did not have a ton of photos. Because this was the week I had my wisdom teeth taken out, and that was on a Friday, I was really busting my butt to get as much done ahead of time as possible. And because of that, I did not take a ton of pictures that week, except for a couple of the days. And then over the weekend, I was just recovering, so just not a lot of pictures. So therefore, I'm using the page protectors that are heavy on the 6x4s. That way, I can still fill them in. There still is a nice balance between photos and cards. And it lines me up for the following week when I also have very few photos because I was recovering most of the week. So I can fill those in with some of the larger photos as well. Now, one occasion that I do have a ton of photos from was Monday this week, where Erin and I had a spa day together. So I have a picture of the two of us here at the top, and then I also printed a bunch of these circles to fit inside of the March circle pattern, which is exactly what I did for February as well. I think that might be something I repeat throughout my album this year. So first I'm going to go ahead and cut these out, and then we'll work on embellishing. These are probably all going to be lightly embellished, just because that's just how I roll. Lightly embellishing my project life. So to get my photos printed into the circles like this, what I did is I pulled open this card digitally inside of Photoshop, and then I created circle shapes that I drew inside the bounds of the line because I want that outline to still show on my card. Once I had my shapes drawn, I could then bring over photos and clip them into the shapes, right? So then my photos became the exact same size as the shape I made. I'm going to do my best to cut them out nicely, but I'm not going to. It'll be fine if I don't quite get all the white. It's not that big a deal. Okay, so like this one is going to go here. Maybe like that. Okay. So what have you guys been up to for 2 weeks? How has March been going for all of you? This is as much my time to catch up with you guys as it is for you guys to catch up with me. So tell me, what have you been up to in your part of the world? Okay. Whoops. Okay, so this one's going to go there. I do have on my sheet here, I did write out where all the different photos go so I don't mess that up. So they're all in the right place. Okay. That one's going to go there. This spa day was such an awesome gift. It's what my husband got for me for Christmas this year. We did a thing where for Christmas, we decided we were going to get each other gifts that we could enjoy together. So I had gotten him a board game and that we could play together, like a 2-player board game. And then I also got him this like book of dates that you scratch off so that we could be encouraged to go on some more date nights this year. And he got me the day at the spa together. So we had manicures and pedicures, which was his first time doing either of those things. He's never had a manicure or a pedicure before. And we also had a couples massage, and it was so awesome. It was a great way to start a week that was going to end, you know, in a questionable way, since I wasn't sure, you know, how everything was going to go with the teeth thing. Okay, so I've got those. I'm thinking let's go ahead and stick them down onto this card and get that done first. So, oh, Susie, first time here. Hi, welcome to a Wednesday Live. March has been flying by, Danielle. It has. It really has. I feel like this year is just flying by. I am okay with March flying by as long as we can get to the warm weather. Like, let's just fast forward up to May and June, although then we get allergy season. So let's fast forward to July to the warm and just hang out there for a while. Slow everything right on down. Okay, so that one there. And then I'm just going to trim off the pieces that go over the edge. I'm basically just trying to cover up the word March because I don't need that. I don't need so many reminders that this is March, you know? I have Marches everywhere on this layout. And there. Okay. So I'll just trim off the extra pieces. So how did Aaron love the manicure pedicure? He really loved it. So Aaron loves his feet being touched. He just loves it. Like, he begs me all the time to rub his feet, and I'm not really a feet person. I like little feet, like kids' feet and babies' feet, but adult feet, I don't know. I'm just not really a foot person. So he's like, please, please rub my feet. And I'm like, how about I rub your hands? You know, which he also likes that too. Or like your head, like I'll rub your head. So for him, getting the pedicure was like mind-blowing because, and the massage, because they massage your feet too. And he was just in total heaven. So yes, he loved it. We'll have to go and do it again sometime because like he really, really enjoyed it. I need some twine. I'm thinking I have some more natural twine, but I just love a good pop of black and white. It's my favorite of all the twines. Black and white is my favorite. So yes, he loved the pedicure. Manicure too, but the pedicure was the winner. So Etienne, I like having I like a pedicure on my own feet. I don't mind my own feet being, I have to be in the right mindset. Like when I go to get a pedicure done, I know that they're going to be touching my feet so they can clean them up and do all that stuff. But I have extremely ticklish feet. So just, having somebody touch them whenever is like, maybe not, but yeah, I'm going to go with this gray. But when I know it's going to be, a service like that, then I can get myself into a different mindset and be okay with it. All right, so this is going to be not May. We are in March. What is the dates? March 7 to 13. 7. I don't know what he's doing down there, but he's knocking around on something. Okay, so March 7th. So I'm just using a Color Theory label. These are from Studio Calico, and you can get them in all different kinds of colors. I'm using that to add my date stamps because that's all I do for my titles. for the like the weekly titles. I don't really do a real week number title. To March 13th. Okay. And then we'll stick that down on the title card. Okay. I pulled out that lighter blue color thinking maybe I would want to do the lighter blue, but I think I'm good with the gray. It pops out a little bit more. So let's go like right here. Like, what is he doing? Is he cooking something? He sure is being noisy. All right, and some tape. Okay. Amy, you love having your feet rubbed. And he's, yes. There's something about adult feet. I don't know what it is. Part of me, one time I told Aaron, I'm like, listen, if you go take a shower, then I'll rub your feet. I'm like, is that, I don't know, maybe it's like a dirty thing. I don't know. Maybe it's because I don't really like my own feet touched too much. I don't know. It's so weird. Felicitas, hi. Welcome. How are you doing, friend? Liz, your husband needs a pedicure, but you can't get him to go. There's always men there. You know, in the place we went to, they're like, yep, we have regulars. And they're like, you'd be surprised at the ratio of men to women who are our regulars here. Like, it's a lot of men, which was so interesting to us because you just don't think of that. But, I mean, they need good skincare and health, you know, foot hygiene and hand hygiene too. Yes. And you start laughing. That's so funny. Yes. Feet are gnarly. Yep. They sure are gnarly, aren't they? Okay, so Terry, back scratches. I love back scratches. Like, that is the best. I never ever think about them until, you know, like I'll be laying in bed and Aaron will be like cuddled up next to me. And I never think like, oh, hey, can you just scratch my back a little bit? But then we'll both turn over and he'll say it like, oh, can you scratch my back now? And I'm like, gosh darn it, I should have thought about this. And I didn't. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. So I've got my cards set up here, my photos set up here. The next thing I'm going to do is I pulled out the sticker sheet, the tiny sticker sheet from the March kit. And I also have this puffy sticker sheet from an older One Little Word mini kit. At least I think it was older. I am really bad about using puffy stickers. Anybody else struggle with puffy stickers? Because I do. In fact, this came with 2 sheets of these, and I gave one to Izzy to just use because she saw them and asked me, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you can have some because I'm just never going to use them. So the colors went very well with this month's kit, so I'm using them. We're getting them on a page. Mallory, you got lucky today. Hi, you did. Mallory, are you still on spring break right now, or are you back to school? Let's see, we've got, what do I want to do here? So I've got amazing. Yeah, that should go on here for sure. Ooh, okay. Interesting, tacky. So thinking I'm going to put amazing right here. And let's layer it with a star. Maybe this like peachy one. Yep. Okay, so we got that one. Here we've got, I could do snapshot. I could do, interesting, basketball is on here. Oh, because March Madness. I'm like, why is basketball in here? Not sharing. I'm thinking snapshot. Let's do that. This is a snapshot of our morning. This also was day in the life this particular week. And the funny thing is I thought that I was getting my wisdom teeth out on day in the life, but it turns out it was actually the next day, which Aaron had to tell me. So thank goodness Thank goodness for that. I would have shown up a day early. So I was able to actually document day in the life on day in the life. I did share some of my pictures on Instagram and like do some of my journaling, and then I just kind of failed. And I still took pictures, but I didn't do any of my journaling or sharing. So I picked actually 4 of these photos. Isn't that funny? So all of these are from spa day. And then these 4 are from day in the life. And this one is from the recovery room. Like, I have no recollection of this photo being taken, but I look not bad. So into the book it goes. So the day in the life pictures, I only picked a few of them, and ones that I knew I probably either wouldn't put in my day in the life album, or ones that I probably would put in a much smaller scale. So like this picture will not go in day in the life, but it's definitely one of my favorites because Jonah looks ridiculous and it makes me laugh when I look at that picture. So I had to print it. It's going in the album, you know? That's what we're doing. Okay, so I've got snapshot, amazing. This one is the one little word prompt. So we'll do, wait, I saw conversations. Yes, beautiful. So we're gonna do conversations because this was all about conversations with our word. It was such a good prompt. One from Liz Lamoureux was the leader of the prompt this month. I think I'm gonna do another one of those like lighter pink stars. And then where else do I want to put any of these? I guess I could put them on the 3x4s too, why not? So just give me 1 second to figure out which ones I want to do. Picture, always, forever. I wish there was like laugh or funny. There's not. How about parents? Okay, maybe picture. Maybe forever. We'll do forever. So this picture down here is one of Jonah and Aaron's grandma, who his grandparents came into town this week, actually on Day in the Life, and we were able to go see them for the first time in, gosh, over a year. It's been over a year. We used to see them a lot, all the time, but then they have moved out to North Carolina to live with his aunt in their older age. So, which happened like right in the middle of COVID. So we haven't seen them. And it was really awesome to finally get the chance. All right, and then I could put grateful. That might be what I do. Grateful to finally have this done. Because Lord knows it needed to be done. Okay, so grateful down there. Add a couple more puppy stickers and then call this spread done. Okay, so can do teal up here. And this lighter blue can go here. And this one, yeah, there's this brighter red in there too. We'll do that. Okay. And then I'm thinking what I'll do is put some of these like on these other cards as well, just to help tie it all in, and use these up. Why not, right? Okay. Yeah, because that uses all my stars. The rest of them are too big, I think. They're going to take up too much space. Okay, so that's going to be week 10. That was super quick and easy, you guys. So we've got spa photos, day in the life photos, photo from recovery. This is the one of Aaron's grandma and Jonah. I got the kids at breakfast, conversation with my word. This one over here is from, I took Jonah on a like mommy Jonah day, and we went to this little cupcake store in our downtown, and I was snapping pictures of him and he just made a face. It was hilarious. So I used a couple of different journaling prompts to help me tell my stories for this week, since I felt like there wasn't a ton happening, and half of it I was in bed. So, so I talked about like gratitudes. I talked about being grateful for the spa day, being grateful for day in the life, the invitation to tell stories, being grateful for the day with Jonah, being grateful for seeing Papa and Tita after so long, and being grateful for the prompt or the push to get my prompt done because I needed to get my mid-month content submitted for the One Little Word classroom. For the This Happened, I talked about getting my wisdom teeth out. So I was supposed to have gotten these out like way long time ago, and I didn't. And then I went to a consultation, was ready to do it. And at the time we couldn't afford it. So then that pushed it. Then I had kids, and then we had a pandemic, and then like everything happened to just keep preventing this from happening. / I had some procrastination in there as well, because I mean, it's scary to like go get it done, and the fear of how much time you're going to miss in a life that's very busy, and you just got to keep going forward. So I talked about that. I talked about finally getting them done and having that weight lifted off my shoulders. And then this card is definitely one of my favorites from the March kit this month. And it has all the different senses is the word I'm looking for. Actually, it has 4 of the 5 senses, and I almost wonder if that was a mistake, because it has March sights, March sounds, March tastes, March feelings, and I wonder if one of those should have been March smells, maybe. But maybe they didn't want to say March smells, because then it sounds like you're saying that March is stinky or something. Maybe. I don't know. I am projecting here. I don't really know. But I loved this card because I loved documenting our week from the lens of senses. It just helps you to pull out these little details in your stories that you might not think to document otherwise. So that is my journaling, the way I journaled this one. So let me move this to the side, and we will, I'm going to stick this all in because I'm going to lose it. So I am going to move on to the next week, which would have been last week, week 11. Now, when I went to pull my pictures for last week, I opened up my folder. I keep all of my pictures inside of Shutterfly. I know that I need to have another place that I store them. I just am lazy and I have not done it, and that is, my bad. Anyway, they are all for now inside of Shutterfly. And I have my pictures sorted by week. So I have a whole week dedicated to 2022 week 11 with the dates of what week 11 is. So then when I upload my photos, which I do almost every night, just out of habit, I put them into those specific folders. So when I went to pull photos for documenting week 11, in my folder, I had a grand total of like 8 photos. And some of them were of the same thing, just different angles. Now, in a general week, I have closer to 60 that I can pick from. So having 8 was not a lot. Mostly that's because I spent so much of the week recovering from oral surgery, right? So what I did for this particular week in my documenting is I did use a bunch of pictures that really don't, like nobody's in them. They're just pictures of stuff that I happen to have. And then I also pulled my currently story kit, and I used up a ton of journaling cards, because although I don't have a lot of pictures from the week, I do have a lot of story from the week. So this is one that's going to be a bit heavier on the journaling than some of my other layouts, and I'm totally fine with that. So like I did have a picture of that I took top down of the kids and Aaron and I playing a game together. And then I have a picture of my coffee maker. I have this tea from Harney and Sons that's called Be Kind. And about a month ago, I picked up a mug that says treat people with kindness, and it's in rainbow colors. And kindness is something that is a really, really big value for me. And it was a tough week. Like this week in particular was really tough for a lot of different reasons. And that reminder, like, I specifically went to my tea cabinet and grabbed out my Be Kind tea and my Be Kind to People mug because I just needed that reminder of, you know, life is tough, but we should still be kind. So that's that. I have a picture of a book that I read. I actually took this as a photo for a blog post for Patreon to talk about prepping for our book club coming up this week. And so, you know, and it goes to my album too, because it is a very good representation of something I read. I have a picture of a Zoom event that I hosted over the weekend. That was the first like in-person talking thing that I had done since getting my teeth out. I also have a picture of us just watching TV, and Izzy's like, her cat Pumpkin will let her do whatever she wants to it. So she just like held the cat to her stomach, like his back to her stomach. And he's totally sat there and took it. So I took a picture of that. This is another picture I took for a thumbnail on a video, but why not? So I printed it. It's in here. And then I also have a picture of a text message that my mom sent me. She watches Jonah once a week. And so last week on Wednesday, she texted me and said, Jonah just dropped his drink and yelled out, "Mamma mia!" Haley and I died. I think Mario is rubbing off on him. And then I replied with a bunch of crying, laughing faces because Jonah is obsessed with Mario. He's obsessed. Like, I've never seen a kid so obsessed with a game. It's ridiculous. It's good and it's bad and it's funny and cute and also really annoying. But this kid loves Mario. So just so funny that he like spilled his drink everywhere and was like, "Oh, mamma mia." So funny. Anyway, so my pictures are kind of sparse, right? And they're not really of anybody except for like a selfie and a Zoom. That's kind of it. So what I pulled out of the Currently kit this time are all of the cards that said currently and a title. So I have currently loving, currently loathing, currently life is, currently eating, and currently reading, because those were all things that I could talk about as they related to my week. For currently reading, I could talk about the books that I read while I was laying around on the couch for days, because that's what I did. The kids played Mario, because that's their thing, and I read books. I finished, I think, 2 in the week, which was awesome. One is I finished, what did I read? I read Untamed, which was fantastic, by Glennon Doyle. And I also finished a parenting book, a positive parenting book that's titled If I Have to Tell You One More Time. Can you tell that we're going through some like toddler tantrum power struggles? We sure are. And that book was a lot of help. So I finished that one. For currently eating, I talked about just eating soup. Like I ate soup for days. I'm still eating soup. Not as much. I can actually, like last night I had burritos. That was great. It was great. But soup for days. So I'm talking about like I ate soup and I treated myself to a smoothie, you know, like, and a milkshake. Like that's what I'm eating. That's the story of this week. For life is, I just talked about how like life is kind of, it's good and it's hard. Like there's good things happening. There's exciting things coming. There's like all this stuff, but at the same time, it's also just really hard. And being real and being able to admit that, you know. So that was a good card. And then the loving, I've got, I started filming my bullet journal stuff, and that just feels really good. It's just something new. Sometimes it's nice to just do something new, just for the fun of it, you know? And sorry, I'm going to figure out where all these go, where I wanted them to go. So I talked about that. And then in my loathing, I talked about how I'm loathing the fact that I feel like I'm struggling motivation wise. And definitely that has to do a lot with just, you know, for me, I'm somebody who's a highly motivated person and kind of a workhorse kind of person. So I don't often take many breaks, but, and I don't often give myself a lot of grace for taking breaks. You know what I mean? So then I had surgery, you know, so part of me is like, oh, I'm so unmotivated and I hate this and all that stuff. But also, I don't know, just one of those things. Like I need to be okay with some of that. Okay, so we're going to date stamp another one of these color theory labels. This one I'm doing green because there's a lot of greens. 220. And, okay, I'm doing it on one of these skinnier ones, so it doesn't quite fit, but that's all right. It does not matter. Okay. Yes. So, Crystal, I see your comment about being stuck on week number 4 and not having a lot of pictures. So I'm trying to figure that out. I would encourage you, like, based on the pictures that you have and based on the week or what you can remember of your week, just see if you can go a little bit heavier on your journaling. And even if you don't, like, let's say you don't subscribe to these kits, and you're not going to get a currently kit, right? If you do, awesome. Try something like this. If you don't, then I would suggest doing like a 5 senses. Like in your week, what were things that you were listening to? What were things that you were watching? What were things, and you could even do watching and reading separate. You could do eating, tasting, smelling, like, are there any, like right now, our house smells like lavender because I just love the smell of lavender. And that's what all my cleaning products have in them is lavender essential oils. So it smells like lavender around here. And that's a story. I could fill up an entire card talking about lavender, you know? That would be my suggestion to you, is to try and think about different ways to document your week. Also, I don't know if you guys follow Susan, who is, okay, lovely, who is Little Things, Big Days over on Instagram. If you don't follow her, I highly suggest giving her a look and following along, because she's an amazing creator. So she just did a week of documenting. She documents in a planner, like a memory planner, I think is what that's called. And she did all of her pictures were from where she stood. So it was always her feet being next to something, which is I'm totally going to copy her and do that too, because I thought it was such a cool perspective on a week, you know, especially if the things that you're doing in the week don't change much week to week. I was like, man, that's it's really cool. Okay, this I'm literally just putting on here for decoration. I cut a little piece off because I don't want to add foam or anything behind it, right? So I just cut that little corner right off. And I can line it up now next to that, and it just looks like they're kind of layered, even though they're not. Mostly I just wanted to use all of the half circles and all of the banners. So that's what we're gonna do. And I have a lot of space to take up here and nothing to put there, so why not? All right, this one says current observations, and that's what I'm putting on the text message here at the bottom. And then I've got currently in the middle of the mess, which I decided to use this banner on the picture with Izzy holding on to her cat because not pictured in the space around Isabella is a massive, massive mess because I had been down and out for some days and the kids like build forts and do all that fun kid stuff every day. So if I don't pick it up, it just turns into like a mass dumping zone of all the things. So that made sense to me. Like she literally was in the middle of the mess. This one says around here, stories of right now. This one says currently loving this. I'm also going to add some of the tiny phrase stickers on here somehow, just to give some pops of black, because I think this page could use, especially since this is heavy on the black, 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 right? So I just feel like it could use some more. This one says totally, oh, so totally into this. That can go there. We are currently playing a game as a family that is called Stuffed Fables. If you have not heard of this game, which I don't know, it's not like a super common, it's not a super common one, but basically it is a, oh gosh, it has like chapters. So it's almost like a legacy game, meaning you play it more than one time and the story progresses, almost like a role-playing game. I mean, I guess it could be considered a role-playing game, but you play as a stuffed animal and you're trying to protect a little girl from the Nightmare King. So we're playing this as a family. It's really kind of out of Jonah's wheelhouse. Like he's not quite there, but Izzy can definitely play it. And it's really cute. So that's what we're playing there. We played through, I think, like a chapter maybe, or maybe a half a chapter, because since our kids are younger, we have to kind of, we can't play a 3-hour game. They just won't last, I guess, unless it's Mario. Then they'll last. All right, so tiny phrase stickers is what we're going to finish this layout up with. So we've got, let's see what we got. Reading. Oh yeah, that works. Oh, because this is currently. So currently reading. And then we've got, I wonder if there's playing. There should be, oh yes, playing. Where do I want you to go? I think I'm just going to put it here. Okay, so totally into this. Playing, yes. Okay, then we've got drinking. This is one really nice thing about, do they have like coffee or tea just before I put this on here? Because that would be awesome. Probably not though. No, definitely not. Okay. One really awesome thing about the Currently kit is that it's like, it's really easy to find things that match up, right? Like this would be watching, and there's going to be watching because currently watching. Yep, there it is. Currently watching. Oh, I know, you know what we were currently watching here was cat videos. Izzy loves to watch like the silly cat videos of, you know, like when they fall off of couches or they run into each other, they're scared of cucumbers. You guys know those videos? She's obsessed. So when she gets control of the TV, very often it is to watch silly cat videos. / dog. Okay, so we've got watching, reading, drinking, playing. Do we have laughing? That would be amazing. Okay, I've got planning. Today is observing right now. Communicating, maybe. Cleaning, reflecting, yesterday, traveling, this moment. Loving, maybe loving. For this up here. Creating. This afternoon, growing around here at this very moment. Details of today. Going. I mean, there's ha. I mean, that can work. It's just small. And LOL. Okay, what if we're gonna do this? It could look real dumb, but I don't care. It's gonna be fine. If I did hot and LOL kind of stacked. Yep, going for it. Okay, then we've got this up here. You know what I'm gonna do? I've got that green. Give me the green. So I've got green. We're gonna add something into here, maybe love today, because I did. So even though, and I talk about this in my, where did I talk about this? Somewhere. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was in here. That I talked about that this week was really tough. And that my, where do I want to put this? That my Zoom thing for Patreon, that's what this is. It's like a Zoom event that I put on once a month. That just kind of really turned the week around. That it just helped. It helped to be with friends. It helped to be with some like-minded people. It's surrounded by like support and love and happiness and laughter. Just, it's really good. Okay, so this one, right now, I'm going to say feels. Putting it here. Okay. Now, I think because what I do have here, so because all of these pieces really, they all have the same text, they all have the same look, it's overpowering and busy, and there's a lot of words, so that's really busy. And then my photos are dark, so they're also kind of busy feeling. Because of that, I really feel like I don't need to put anything else on here. Like it is good. It is good the way it is. So I think that is where I'm going to call this. So let me stick these down into the pockets and I'll go back through your comments here and see if I've missed anything. Let's see. Oh, Mag, I just saw your comment about daylight savings. Yes. It is weird. Like, so some countries, their daylight savings happens like next week. It's been weird. It's been a weird time. Green day. Yes. Yes. Lots of green. Ah. Oh, an ice snowstorm, Terry. That sounds horrible. I am sorry about that. Kat, you too? That's super weird. What's happening? Has it cleared up for you? Okay. Mallory, you want to play Codenames again? Yes, me too. Me too. All right, let me see. I don't think I've missed anything else. Germany changes the upcoming weekend to daylight. Yeah, it's so, why are we all on different schedules? Like time zones are already difficult. They're already so difficult to figure out, you know? But no, we got to go and make them even more confusing. All right. Well, friends, I'm going to stick these in here, and that's going to do it for me for today. Before we head out, do you guys have any questions for me? Anything while I am here that I can talk about, that I can answer? Otherwise, we are gonna be done for today. This was fun. Thank you for coming and hanging out and encouraging me to get my layouts done, because now I'm caught back up and man, that feels good. This is the first thing that I have made, the first like scrapbook layout that I've put together in probably 2 weeks, and that feels really good. Sometimes it's like coming home, you know, coming home to something that we know and love. All right, so let me pull this back up here. There we go. So we've got the 2 weeks. Bam, bam. All right, friends, I think that is it. How many years have you done arts and crafts? Tim, do you mean like like scrapbooking arts and crafts, or just like in general arts and crafts? Scrapbooking, I started when I was in middle school, and did it for, I want to say, like 6 years, and then stopped completely for a long time. And then I picked it back up in 2018. So 18, 19, 20, 21. So almost 4 years, because it's about halfway through 2018. So almost 4 years for scrapbooking the way that I do now. So hopefully that answers your question. And in the beginning, I will say, like, if you're just starting out with scrapbooking, in the beginning, it's a lot of trying to figure out, I'm going to grab my album here. Where did it go? Trying to figure out what style fits you best. Like, what do you actually like to create? And when you look at your pages, what makes you happy? And it did take me a good amount of time to figure that out. And now I feel like I've got it down to a style and like a, what do I want to say? Like just a style that I like, you know? Something that's a little bit cleaner is generally what I like to go for. I don't embellish too terribly much, because a lot of times I feel like photos and journaling can speak for itself, and I don't want to clutter it up even more. But, you know, how many albums? Jen, do you mean like in general how many albums, or do you mean how many albums for Project Life? Like, Felicitas, you're still in that figuring it out phase. And Felicitas, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I also feel like we're constantly in this stage of like moving to the next thing. You know, like, I have my style down, I have what I like, but also sometimes it's like, well, maybe I want to like stretch the bounds on that right now and try something different. Like, maybe I want to add more embellishing this time, and then your style completely changes and then it goes back. And I feel like our styles are so fluid, but also a lot of times the place where we're at in our lives kind of dictates the style that we've got. Since 2018, a lot, Jen. A lot. So I have done Project Life for all of the years, and I went back and did older Project Lives as well. So I have from 2015 through current as Project Life albums. I'm still working my way through finishing 2021, and then we're in the middle of 2022 right now. So once I have 2021 completed, then from 2015 to 2021 will be finished Project Life albums. And then I have so many story albums. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like 12 story albums, which are 6 by 8 is what I work in there. And then I've done December Daily. So I have 4 years of December Daily, which each are 2 albums. I have 4 years of October Daily. I have 2 completed years of Week in the Life, and 1 more that I'm going to be working on hopefully soon. Couple years of One Little Words. I have a lot. There's a lot of albums. There's a lot of albums. So yes, it's a lot. Yes. Too many photos for Project Life. Like, you don't have, Mallory, do you mean you have too many photos? Like, you want to put too many photos in, or you're having trouble picking your photos? Or do you feel like your Project Life albums, they're like too photo heavy? I think for me, a lot of times, and the reason why I have so many story albums is because a lot of times my Project Life, well, not a lot of times, generally, pretty much always, my Project Life is smaller stories. It's more like little peeks at life in the particular week rather than honing in on one photo and telling this big long story about that one photo. My story albums are the honed in on the one photo and telling its story, or telling a deeper story and just using any old photo to illustrate it or to go with it. Like I might write a letter to my daughter about why it's important, why kindness is a value to our family. That could be an entire story. I don't necessarily need a specific photo for that, so I'll just go and find a photo of her or a photo of, her and her brother or our family or like something to just stick with it. Just a photo that I like goes with it. So when I'm trying to decide between what photos make it into Project Life and what photos I'm using for story albums, my Project Life is more, first of all, I don't care if I have crossover. So like if I have a photo in this album and in a story album and in my daughter's album and in October Daily, like it's okay. I don't care. I like that photo. So why not? Why not just use it everywhere? It doesn't really matter. But I also use it as an opportunity to print photos and add stories that I might not really tell in a deeper sense anywhere else. For example, I'm not going to print a big photo of, what do I want to say? I'm not going to print a big photo of like my coffee pot. Like that's just not, it's not that it's not worthy of being printed big or anything, but like I have so many other stories I'd rather tell. So I'll put that one here and it can be a glimpse into this week, but, but I'm not going to print that big anywhere else. Whereas a photo like, let's see if I can find one that I would probably print big. None of those. Probably none of those. Like this photo I really like, and it's the kids painting, like an overhead shot of the kids painting. I might use that in a big sense to talk about art or to talk about perfection or to talk about, trying, what it means to try, or expressing ourselves. Like that could go with a story like that. So I have it small in here. It's telling about our week, saying, hey, we watercolored this day, but I might use that photo somewhere else. The other thing, because I am telling some of the bigger stories, I don't necessarily mind if I'm leaving stories out. Like this week, here was Day in the Life. And essentially in this book, or in my layout here, I talked about going to the spa, getting my wisdom teeth out, and then some like little bits and pieces. The big story of what actually happened on Day in the Life is not in here. You could look at this layout and have no idea that this week was Day in the Life, but it was. And I have some really, really good photos that I'm planning to put in my Day in the Life album that I'm not worrying about putting in here. I don't need them in here because they're going to go somewhere else. So for me, I try to, when I'm doing my photos, I try to have a balance between photos and cards. So generally, I will have one title card that's going to have some kind of pattern and one filler card, which is going to have a quote on it, or it might be something more decorative, something like that. Then I try to have at least 2 cards for each page that have room for words or a place for me to add smaller bitty photos like this card here with the circles. So then I have the rest of the space. I know, okay, this is where my photos are going to go. If I have a week where I have a lot going on, I might do a double page where I've got all of them. Like, is this one? No, almost. But where there are more of the 3x4. So I might have like a double with the 3x4s. I swear I have one. Let me see. Nope. Maybe not. Lies. I lied. Okay, I don't have one in this album yet. But when we get to, say, Week in the Life, and I have probably over 1,000 pictures to pull from, it's going to be really hard for me to narrow them down to 6 to 8 photos. So I will likely do 2 pages that look like this one, and I just try to keep the balance. So I know I've got Like here, I've got photos on this corner, photos on this corner, my journaling cards through the middle. That gives me a sense of balance. I might also do my cards in these 4 spots, and then the other 5 are photos. So I have some kind of balance going on. You can see what I mean. So I've got like my title card, a filler card, and then words, right? This is another filler card that I added a photo to. So I have another section for photos. Here I've got a title card, three filler cards. Ooh, that's a lot of filler cards this time. And then I've got the 2 for journaling, which are heavy. Like that's a lot of text in one place. And then photos to fill in the other spaces, right? Filler, title, filler. This one also has a couple more fillers, but then I've got, so here's an example where I've got the 4 photos and then the 5 journaling cards to give me that balance. So it's just finding what feels good to you. Mallory, if you're feeling like you have too many photos in your project life, then maybe limit, like maybe try to take away 2 of them in your weekly spread, depending on how big your album is. If you're working in a 12 by 12, you might be able to take away 2 or 3 photos and fill it with something else. If you're working in a 6 by 8, you might need to take away like 1 photo and fill it with something else. So it's just trying to maintain some kind of balance that feels good for you. Some people, like if this is too many words, and that's totally fine. You know, you can put in more filler cards or more decorative pieces. It doesn't have to be so word heavy. I just am not concise. So lots of words for me. Okay. Oh, thank you for wood grain. Yeah, I'm trying this out, you guys. So this is, I talked about this last time. I ordered this is fake. So I ordered these, I don't know, photography things. It's like a mat that you can put down. And it has this wood grain look because I'm eventually going to change the top of my desk. And I'm debating between doing a more wood grain top or doing a white top. And so I've just been playing with it, seeing what it looks like in my videos. I've decided I like it in the videos, but I don't like it in my flat lay photos. I tried that just to see what it would look like. And it's not my favorite. So I'll continue I have another one like this. This is what it is. I don't know. It's probably so close to the camera. So I have another one that's white that I can put down to take my top down photos or my flat lay photos. So it's nice. I do like it on the video though, because it gives some like dimension between the cards and the photos and everything else. So, all right, friends, I think, the clear divider thing. Oh, this. Yes. So I have this. Do I have like a white where you can see it better? Maybe it's really hard to see. Maybe on black you could see it. Oh, kind of better. So this one says 03/2022 and then March at the top. These are clear dividers that I got from Colorcast Designs. So right now, I don't know if they're sold out. They might be sold out right now. I don't know if she's going to do any more. Jessica owns the shop, Jessica Upton. But she should be coming out with April, May, and June pretty soon. I'm hoping on the next release because now the first release only had the first 3. So they're just like little dividers that I can grab. Like there's all my January. I can grab the next one. There's all my February and then my next one. And there's March. So it's just kind of a fun way to divide all the pages up. Okay, I think that's all the questions. Friends, this has been so fun. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you all have an awesome rest of your day. Again, I will not be here next week. Don't forget it is spring break, so I will be here home, but with my kids and entertaining them while Erin works. So I will not be here next week on Wednesday. I will see you guys soon. I hope you have an awesome day. Bye, friends.